Now you now, maybe you talk up. So why are you taking it pee?
So why you now?
No, why are you calling my name now?
I just the call.
I don't get.
She call my name.
But you agreed now.
The way she said no.
You agreed. You agreed. I'm just saying.
I mean, I agreed now.
So why you
the way she was saying Onyeka, it's not a fight.
was
It's not a
saying
fight.
was-
It's a joke now. The same way she called me, they call her.
This if I call
You call my name. You're taking it pee.
How am I taking it pee now? You call my name. Did I say you're taking
not
it
taking it pee.
You call my name, I call your name. It's not a big deal. Do you get?
Victoria,
She said this one is Onyeka. Me and I said Victoria Parrot.
Oh, you
It's not a
agreed
big
to
deal
it now. Didn't you agree
Yes,
to
now.
it?
But why are you taking it pee?
I'm not taking it pee. You're the one
joke.
taking it pee.
Don't know the way we used to
Because if
joke.
you're not taking it pee, you're not going to call my name.
There's no way me and Sean would talk and we would be okay. If already Wani has a problem with the way we are talking now, how else are we going to talk? Let me tell you what the problem is according to what Wani was saying. Wani knows that his exes have big yansh. So the problem now is the yansh. As long as there is yansh, there can never be peace. I don't care what's happening in their relationship. That's their business. No matter how innocent the relationship wants to be. If you are possessive, then you are possessive.
Are we going to be getting the much needed drama we need from the Big Brother house in week 7? Well, let's wait and see, because Big Brother applied some, crazy twists yesterday in the game, and we got to see new dynamics form. The Parrot finally spoke. Yes, this Parrot that has been placed in the house since last week, and we've been wondering if it will actually spill some secrets. Well, it did that yesterday, and some people are caught up in a web of gossip and trying to do media rounds. People are confessing openly, some people are confessing behind. Well, let us watch and see what this would actually lead to. Well, this is all we'll be talking about today on the show. Everything the Parrot said, the person caught up in the cobwebs of the Parrot, and what has been happening right after that. Thank you so much for watching Leadership TV. Don't forget, this is BB Niger, and I'm on here with me, Cynthia Onward. I'll be giving you the lowdown on what happened yesterday in the Big Brother house up to this very morning. Well, let's start by congratulating TJ. He emerged as a new HOH for the week, and of course he's saved because he has immunity. And Big Brother gave us the shock of our lives. Okay, I know that Big Brother has said a few days ago, posted on their social media handles that water go pass Gary. Well, we saw it live and direct yesterday. Big Brother gave the housemates to write down 2 names of housemates that they want to put up for possible eviction, and directed them to various rooms where they would go sit and write those names. Well, he didn't tell them what he had up their sleeves, and of course he shocked them when he gathered them in the lounge and told them to take that particular piece of paper and come out to the front of the fellow housemates and mention the names that are written in the paper. Oh my god, that means these housemates were caught unaware. They didn't even know that this was coming up. Well, I had to give kudos to Big Brother Niger, yes, and also Big Brother Anzadi. I think we had the first time we ever had this the season, or rather the franchise, where we have this open nomination is in Big Brother South Africa. That's Big Brother Anzadi. We don't have that in the Big Brother Niger house. This should be the very first time this is happening, and this is season 9, and we are getting to see this particular play come out. Well, thank you South Africa for giving us this idea. Shout out to you guys. Big Brother applied it yesterday, and the housemates were in shock. I know if they knew about this open nomination, probably the names we got to see, would not get to see them. Well, I'll be giving you a lowdown of the housemates that are up. Of course, you get to see a picture of who and who put who and who up for eviction, and of course I would love you to tell me in the comments who surprised you and who didn't surprise you, or if you had other expectations. Well, guess what? The housemates came out one after the other and started to call names of people that they had written on the paper, and you could see faces changing. Some people covering up how they feel with laughter. Some people, their emotions were actually emerging on their faces. I know I mean, who are you going to drag? You nominated other people now, so why do you want to now go and nominate or want to get angry over who nominated you? But of course, we still saw that happening. People like the Mbadiwe twins, they were expressing their displeasure. Wani expressed her displeasure, but we'll get into that much later. The housemates that are up for possible eviction are Tofa. Of course, I'll even be giving you a reason much later why Tofa is even in that roundup. He's not even supposed to be in that roundup. Well, OC is up. Victoria, Sean, we have Cassia and Kelly Ray. We also have Chizoba, Ben, Suj. Well, let's get into Tofa now. I don't even know what to say about Tofa. Like, Tofa just he pisses me off. Big Brother said write down 2 housemates, and he went and wrote one, and when he came out to, of course, to read it in front of the housemates, he mentioned only one named Victoria. And Big Brother had to punish him for not being attentive and say, okay, you are automatically up for eviction. Hey! I felt so bad for him. But in a game like this, you have to give it your A1. And he probably wasn't attentive. It was a mistake on his part. And he spends the rest of the evening crying. Of course, with Anita consoling him and telling him to make the most out of the week. Not to think about it so much and just learn to move forward. Well, it was quite unfortunate for Tofa. He could have really escaped that. Probably would have gotten another name, which another of the housemates, and not Tofa. But unfortunately, Big Brother punished him by replacing the name he missed with his own name. So let's move on now to the spice. Let's move on to the flavor of why we're even doing this whole thing today. The Parrot started spilling right after the nominations. I felt like Big Brother wasted this much time allowing the housemates to speak, so it will not maybe influence the nominations for this week, because somebody's name was coming up over and over again. It would have probably annoyed some of the people involved, and it would have affected their emotions and how they nominate. This housemates, in terms of nomination, they are just surprising me. I think they are doing a lot more of emotional instead of the game. People that you actually view as people that you view as your competition, because I saw a lot of Kelly Ray, Victoria and Suj coming up, and I know it had something to do with the fact that maybe people didn't feel so connected to them. Last week in the diary sessions, I know the housemates were asked who they had the least connection with, and Suj's name was coming up quite continuously, so I actually was not surprised when a lot of people mentioned his name. But it shouldn't be about the person you have the least connection to or who is your competitor in the house, because you are there for 100 million. All right, you're there to kick others out and grab the 100 million. So why are you caring about who you are close to or who you are not close to, or who you are loyal to or who you are not loyal to? Because I'm seeing a lot of housemates that are supposed to be on the chopping block not being there, which is by the way twins and the Nelita. It seems like OC and OZ, Nelly and Anita are playing a very good social game, because why is it that when it's time to nominate, people kind of forget them? What is happening? Okay, moving on now to the Parrot spill. The Parrot spilled 3 different gists. The Parrot spilled 3 different gists, and it's funny that Onyeka was quite involved in all of them. Onyeka was involved in the 3 gists. First of all, the Parrot said something about Ben and Chizoba, and Ben not respecting me. I've already told Chizoba that if she gets into a ship, I'll just move away. Because if I wanted to get into a ship, I would have gotten into one a long time ago. Most of the ships in this house, the guys moved to me first, and I did not agree. So it's not like ship is something that I want. It's not something that is important to me. And immediately Victoria stood up to comment on that particular Parrot statement and said, okay, it's Onyeka. Onyeka was saying it to me, and talking about her sister Chizoba and the relationship she's having in the house, which is with Ben, and how she was expressing her displeasure and saying, okay, Ben first spoke to me because spoke to me and said he liked my sister. That was why he tried to get close to me and all of that. And Victoria kind of just blotted her name out and said, Onyeka, you're the one that said it. The Parrot is talking about you. I think that was the genesis of their fight, because I don't think Onyeka liked Victoria calling her out and saying the Parrot is talking about you. So that was what led to that kitchen altercation video that we saw at the beginning of the show. Well, the second gist was about Wani and Sean. All right, saying that I don't know how else to talk to Sean, that it will not look weird to Wani. I think Wani feels insecure because the exes, Sean's former exes, has a big behind, and the big behind is a problem here. That's probably why Wani feels insecure, and she doesn't want it to affect her relationship with Sean. That's Onyeka speaking now about Wani and Sean's relationship and saying she doesn't care about what goes on in the relationship. She has nothing to do with it, but kind of speaking about Wani and Sean's relationship, and Wani feeling insecure and possessive in a kind of way and all that. So they were trying to also figure out, but I think some people also already figured out that Onyeka was the one that made that statement. Well, the third gist from the Parrot, the culprit is actually Cassia, but when they left that place, they didn't know who it was anyway. But I'll get right into it. The Parrot said something about Wani ex Handy's friendship with somebody, and saying that the person got close to Wani and Handy because they have a big fan base outside, so she's trying to get in their good books and get closer to them, and all of that, talking about friendship with Wani and Handy, and then the same person now saying, I feel the friendship is fake, and so person is close to Wani and Handy because of the big fan base that they have outside. So the housemates were kind of left perplexed, trying to figure out who made that statement. Though Wani and Handy's name came up in it, but they didn't know who exactly made that statement. Well, it's quite funny because later on at night we saw Cassia moving towards Handy, and it was kind of like a confession, and saying, okay, I was the one that made that third statement from the Parrot. I was telling somebody that I was skeptical about your relationship your sister had with you, and your sister had with Onyeka, because Onyeka has personally told me before that you guys have a big fan base outside. She has told me that you guys have a big fan base outside. So I just automatically felt like that was why she was close to you. And I feel like the friendship she has with you is not genuine. She's your friend because of that big fan base statement that she made. And Cassia owned up to it, and said that she was going to confront Onyeka much later about that particular gist, because even Onyeka herself doesn't even know who made that gist. So for now, it's just Cassie and Handy that knows about that particular gist, and then they hugged it out, and everything. And the fact that Onyeka is involved in this, yesterday was, I feel like her head was moving up in smoke, because she'll be doing a lot of media rounds, she'll be doing a lot of discussions with people, countering what she said, and say, okay, maybe I didn't mean it this way, I meant it this way. But that's the reason why Big Brother even brought that Parrot in the first place. Right before the whole Parrot thing, we saw Onyeka and Ozzy arguing, and I don't know what their argument was about. And Ozzy was like trying to tell her that you don't like to take someone else's advice, you always want your own to stand and all that. I don't know if that had to do with the fight Onyeka had earlier in the day, I think yesterday afternoon, with Chizoba. Those sisters, I don't know. They make me so unhappy, because when I think about the relationship I have with my sisters and the love we share, it makes me so disappointed. I don't want to speak on anyone's upbringing, but seeing it play out on live television is quite disheartening. Two sisters coming into a game, supposed to be best friends, have each other's back, but then they go out there washing their dirty linens, outside. Chizoba came and was angry with some statements Onyeka had made about their mother, and saying that saying the mother prefers Chizoba, because Chizoba always paints Onyeka in a bad light. So the mother always prefers Chizoba. Chizoba is her mother's favorite child. And Chizoba was like, okay, I'll allow you tell any other lie, but I won't allow you come on national TV and tell lies about our family, calling Onyeka selfish, and she only thinks about herself, she doesn't think about her. That how dare you go behind my back and say things about me. I think maybe Onyeka told OC and Ozzy things about Chizoba, and Chizoba was quite unhappy about it. Or maybe it has something to do with the questions Ebuka asked on Sunday about their relationship and how they are working on it and all that. Chizoba was quite unhappy with some of the actions Onyeka showed her in the house. She said, you're supposed to be my sister, you're supposed to have my back, but you actually always put me throw me under the bus. If you always want to throw me into the fire, you don't show love to me as your sister. And it was just, I don't know, these girls have a lot of trauma they need to walk through. Even after this show, they need to sit down as a family unit and settle like whatever issue that they have, because it's not really sad to actually see. Well, let's move on now. After the Victoria and Onyeka fight, we saw Sean and Victoria having a kind of discussion about, Onyeka. And Onyeka actually nominated Victoria. So Victoria was expressing her displeasure and saying, okay, I'm fine with every other person that nominated me. I just recently started getting close to people anyways. But I feel like me and Onyeka were cool, we are friends, we're in a good place. So seeing her nominate me made me quite unhappy, and saying that she can't see Onyeka the same way moving forward, because she's quite disappointed in her that she nominated her for, eviction. Well, Sean also told her that if she doesn't feel comfortable with the friendship she has with Onyeka, maybe she should just, she just let it go. And then they were also discussing. I feel like Sean is quite a gamer. During the week, even right before any nomination or whatever, you get to see him talking to the people that he's close to, and then dropping names, kind of like nominating people and say, okay, nominate this person, nominate this person. I think because of what he was doing in the HOH lounge with I think Onyeka Handy and maybe Victoria, that Big Brother had to put out a disclaimer about conspiring and saying once you conspire you'll be punished for it, because we saw Sean doing a lot of conspiring that week with the twins and Victoria, kind of dropping names, suggestion on people that they can nominate. And the fact that he always nominates people that are quite different, from what the twins and Victoria would nominate, makes me look at him in like, okay, I think I give him a thumbs up, because he's actually playing mind games, like telling them, dropping names, do this, nominate these people, and then he goes behind and nominates people quite different from what he suggested to the twins and Victoria. So it's only a gamer with like, the mental capacity to do that, to put out a proclamation, and then people would follow and listen. It takes a gamer to actually do that. So I rate Sean's work. I actually rate his work, because he gives these girls names and then they go on and nominate these people, but he doesn't even nominate them. We're hearing a lot of, Nelita. Why is Nelly and Anita, why are their names not even up? I mean, they succeeded with Suj. 1 year Sandy nominated Suj. Victoria nominated Suj also. So it was like, okay, we succeeded in that one. So, I mean, Nelly and Anita, what's going on? Why are their names not coming up? So we'll see Sean doing a lot more. Maybe subtle, conspiring, just dropping names here and there, being the gamer that he is. At night also, we saw him in bed with Wani discussing about the whole Onyeka dynamic. And Wani was, telling Sean that she doesn't even feel the warmth from Onyeka. It's like they have been trying to get to a good place to be friends, but it's just not working, because she's scared of Onyeka. Sometimes she says things and she does something different. That's her words does not correlate with her actions. And Sean advised her that if you feel that way, maybe you shouldn't force the friendship. Alright, don't even try to make the same effort that you were making before. Just let it go if you feel like you can't even trust her, especially with this whole Parrot exposure, the things Onyeka says behind their back and all of that. So Sean was advising Wani and telling her, just let go of the relationship. If you don't feel like you can trust her, you can actually let it go. And Sean was kind of talking about Anita and saying, I'm disappointed that she nominated me. I thought we're in a good place. I thought we are cool. I mean, I'm cool with Tofa, so I feel I should be cool with Anita. I don't know why she nominated me. I put her on a high pedestal and all of that. And okay, please, you also nominated people, please. And why am I seeing the by the way to getting angry with Nelly? Why? Because OC with the C nominated Nelly, and Nelly nominated OC. So, and you also nominated people. So why are you angry? I don't really understand why anybody, should be angry. Even Wani was like complaining about Anita. Anita nominated her boyfriend Sean. You also nominated. And so these housemates, their matter, it's not even here. But let us wait to see what other dynamic will come out from this whole Parrot thing. I think Big Brother is just tired of the whole kumbaya, the peace in the house, and he just wants to create violence. And from yesterday till today, at least we've seen a little shake up. All those love, kumbaya, we've seen it. We've seen people's color, coming out. And they can't just carry 100 million and give to you now. You have to fight for it. You have to entertain us for it. So I think that Big Brother is just tired of these housemates and the fact that they just eat and sleep and play games all day. Even when Ebuka gives them materials to work with on Sunday eviction, they're just cowards. I'm sorry to use that word, but they say things behind each other's backs, and when they come to meet each other face to face, it's like, you're just smiling. What is say what you want to say in your fellow housemates before? I mean, this is war. This is technically war. We're talking about 100 million here, so I'm not encouraging violence, but these housemates have to give us something to work with. Enough of the kumbaya, alright? And I'm looking forward to more spills from that Parrot. I cannot wait. I know Big Brother just elongated it for us to create that suspense, but more of this Parrot, Big Brother. I think I have to give kudos to you. Let's see if this Parrot spillage would, set the tone for how the rest of the week will go, because people are emotions are getting high. People don't trust each other anymore, especially with this whole open nomination thing. So people have not even conversed with themselves since yesterday. They can't look each other in the eye. But let us wait and see, how this week will go. When week 7, of course, let's see the dynamics that will come up to play. We'll be here to give you the gist on Leadership TV. Thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158.